What if we told you that one country hides two independent nations, a city with no roads, villages where time seems frozen, and traditions that most tourists never discover? Italy is far more than pizza and famous landmarks. In the next few minutes, you'll uncover some of the country's most surprising secrets, breathtaking places, and remarkable traditions that make it one of the world's most fascinating destinations. Stay with us. You won't believe what comes next. Italy's geography and sovereign states. Italy is one of the most geographically fascinating countries in Europe, stretching about 1,200 kilometers, 750 miles, from the snowy Alps in the north to the sun-soaked Mediterranean in the south. Covering more than 301,000 square kilometers, the country is famous for its boot-shaped peninsula and over 7,600 kilometers of coastline. But perhaps Italy's most surprising geographical feature isn't its mountains or beaches. It's the fact that two fully independent countries exist entirely within its borders. The first is Vatican City, the smallest sovereign state on Earth. Covering just 0.49 square kilometers, this tiny nation sits in the heart of Rome and has a population of fewer than 1,000 residents. Despite its size, Vatican City serves as the spiritual headquarters of the Roman Catholic Church and welcomes millions of visitors every year to landmarks such as St. Peter's Basilica and the Vatican Museums. The second is the Republic of San Marino, located on the northeastern slopes of the Apennine Mountains. With an area of just over 61 square kilometers and a population of around 34,000 people, San Marino proudly claims to be the world's oldest surviving republic, tracing its origins back to AD 301. Today, it has one of Europe's highest standards of living and remains an independent nation completely surrounded by Italy. Few countries on Earth can say they contain two sovereign states within their territory. This extraordinary geographical arrangement makes Italy not only a destination of breathtaking landscapes, but also one of the most politically and historically unique places in the world. Italy's stunning beaches and unique regulations. Italy is not just a country of ancient cities and Renaissance art. It is also home to some of the most stunning coastlines in Europe, with more than 7,600 kilometers of shoreline touching the Adriatic, Ionian, Tyrrhenian, and Mediterranean seas. From the dramatic cliffs of the Amalfi Coast to the turquoise waters of Sardinia, Sicily, Puglia, Calabria, and Liguria, Italy's beaches look like scenes from a travel film. As of 2026, Italy has reached a new record with 525 blue flag beaches, an international award given for clean water, safety, services, and environmental management. Famous seaside spots include Tropea, Polignano a Mare, Sanremo, Taormina, Forte dei Marmi, and the colorful coastal villages of Cinque Terre. But what shocks many visitors is how strict Italy can be about protecting these places. In Sardinia, taking sand, shells, stones, or pebbles from the beach is illegal, with fines that can reach around 3,000 euros. Some fragile beaches also limit daily visitors or require advance reservations to prevent overcrowding. In Cinque Terre, even footwear matters. Tourists hiking the coastal trails in flip-flops or unsuitable sandals can face fines of up to 2,500 euros because the paths are steep, rocky, and dangerous without proper shoes. In some seaside towns, walking through historic centers in only swimwear is also banned. These rules may sound unusual, but they exist for one reason. Italy wants its beaches to stay beautiful, safe, and alive for future generations. Italian women and the art of la Bella Figura. In Italy, beauty is not only about appearance, it is also about attitude, elegance, confidence, and respect for the moment. This idea is called La Bella Figura, which means making a beautiful impression. It can be seen in the way many Italian women dress, speak, walk, and interact with others in daily life. From the streets of Milan to the piazzas of Rome, Italian style often feels effortless but carefully chosen. A simple dress, polished shoes, natural makeup, or a well-fitted coat can say a lot without saying a word. For many Italians, looking presentable is not about showing off. It is a sign of self-respect and social awareness. But La Bella Figura goes beyond fashion. It also includes manners, greeting people properly, speaking with warmth, enjoying meals slowly, and behaving gracefully in public. In Italian culture, the way a person carries themselves can be just as important as what they wear. This is why Italian women are often admired around the world. Their elegance is connected not only to designer brands or beauty standards, but to a lifestyle built around confidence, taste, family, tradition, and emotional expression. In a country famous for art, fashion, and romance, La Bella Figura remains one of Italy's most fascinating cultural secrets. The belief that everyday life can be lived with beauty, dignity, and style. The Vespa, an icon of Italian culture. Few vehicles are as closely associated with a country as the Vespa is with Italy. More than just a scooter, the Vespa has become a global symbol of Italian style, freedom, and everyday life. Its story began in 1946, when the Italian company Piaggio introduced a compact, affordable scooter to help people travel during the difficult years following World War II. The name Vespa, meaning wasp in Italian, was inspired by the scooter's narrow waist and distinctive engine sound. What started as a practical solution quickly turned into a cultural icon. By the 1950s and 1960s, Vespas filled the streets of Rome, Florence, and countless other Italian cities. They also gained international fame through classic films such as Roman Holiday, where scenes of a Vespa weaving through Rome helped create one of cinema's most memorable images. Today, more than 19 million Vespa scooters have been sold worldwide, making it one of the most successful scooter brands in history. While modern Italy has trains, subways, and high-speed highways, the Vespa remains a favorite for navigating narrow streets, historic neighborhoods, and busy city centers. Its compact size, fuel efficiency, and timeless design continue to appeal to both locals and visitors. For many Italians, riding a Vespa is about more than transportation. It represents a relaxed way of life, spontaneous adventures, and the simple pleasure of exploring beautiful streets at your own pace. Even after nearly 8 decades, the Vespa continues to capture the spirit of Italy, where practicality meets elegance and everyday travel becomes part of the country's enduring charm. Relocation incentives for foreigners. Imagine being offered financial support to start a new life in one of Italy's charming hilltop villages. While it may sound too good to be true, several Italian regions have launched programs to attract new residents and revive communities facing population decline. Many rural towns have seen their populations shrink as younger generations move to larger cities, leaving behind beautiful homes, historic streets, and local businesses in need of new life. One of the best-known examples comes from Calabria in southern Italy, where selected villages have offered financial incentives worth up to around 28,000 to 30,000 euros for eligible newcomers willing to relocate, live there full-time, and start a small business. Rather than simply giving away money, these programs are designed to create jobs, support local economies, and preserve centuries-old communities. Eligibility requirements vary and often include age limits, residency commitments, and a viable business proposal. Italy has also gained worldwide attention for its famous €1 house initiatives. In dozens of small towns, abandoned homes have been offered for the symbolic price of just €1. Buyers, however, must agree to renovate the properties within a specified period, helping restore historic neighborhoods instead of leaving them empty. Some regions have introduced renovation grants or housing subsidies alongside these programs, making relocation even more attractive for families, entrepreneurs, and remote workers. Although these opportunities receive global attention, they are not open-ended giveaways. Each town sets its own rules, application process, and eligibility requirements. For those seeking a quieter lifestyle surrounded by vineyards, mountains, and centuries of history, these initiatives represent more than financial assistance. They offer a chance to become part of Italy's living cultural heritage. Unique customs and traditions in Italian cities. Every Italian city has its own traditions, local customs, and unwritten rules that reflect centuries of history. One of the most famous stories comes from Milan, where an old city regulation dating back to the Austro-Hungarian era reportedly required people to smile while in public. Although the rule is no longer actively enforced, it has survived as a fascinating piece of local folklore and is often cited as a symbol of courtesy and positive public behavior. The traditional exceptions were those visiting hospitals or attending funerals. Beyond this unusual tradition, friendliness and respect remain important parts of everyday life across Italy. A simple buongiorno when entering a cafe, greeting shop owners before asking for assistance, or thanking staff before leaving are considered signs of good manners. In many neighborhoods, locals still know their neighbors by name, creating a welcoming atmosphere that visitors often notice immediately. Public squares, known as piazzas, play a central role in Italian social life. Rather than rushing from place to place, people often gather to chat with friends, enjoy coffee, or take an evening stroll known as the passeggiata. This daily tradition brings families, couples, and friends together, transforming city centers into lively community spaces after sunset. Italian communication is also famously expressive. Conversations are often accompanied by animated hand gestures, warm facial expressions, and enthusiastic storytelling. To outsiders, these interactions may seem dramatic, but for Italians, they are simply a natural way of expressing emotion and building personal connections. These customs remind visitors that Italy is not only a country of remarkable landmarks and cuisine, it is also a place where everyday interactions are shaped by warmth, tradition, and a strong sense of community. Venice, the city without roads. Imagine living in a city where there are no cars, no traffic lights, and no highways. Welcome to Venice, one of the world's most extraordinary cities, where water replaces roads and boats serve as the primary means of transportation. Built across more than 100 small islands in a lagoon along Italy's Adriatic coast, Venice is connected by over 400 bridges and separated by approximately 170 canals, creating an urban landscape unlike anywhere else on Earth. The city's most famous waterway is the Grand Canal, a nearly 4-kilometer-long channel that winds through the heart of Venice. Instead of buses and taxis, residents and visitors travel by water buses known as vaporetti, private water taxis, delivery boats, and emergency vessels. Even ambulances, police boats, firefighters, and garbage collection services operate entirely on the canals, making Venice one of the few cities where everyday life depends almost completely on water. Of course, no symbol represents Venice better than the elegant gondola. These handcrafted wooden boats have been gliding through the canals for centuries. Today, there are around 400 licensed gondoliers, each undergoing extensive training before earning the right to navigate the city's historic waterways. While gondolas are now used mainly for tourism and special occasions, they remain an enduring symbol of Venetian culture and craftsmanship. Venice also faces modern challenges. Rising sea levels and seasonal flooding, known locally as acqua alta, have prompted major engineering projects, including the Mo's flood barrier system, designed to help protect the city from exceptionally high tides. Despite these challenges, Venice continues to attract more than 20 million visitors each year, proving that its timeless beauty and unique way of life remain as captivating as ever. Italy's most fascinating festivals. Italy's calendar is filled with festivals that blend history, tradition, and spectacular celebrations. Many of these events have been passed down for centuries, giving visitors a chance to experience local customs that remain an important part of community life. From colorful masks to medieval horse races, these festivals reveal a side of Italy that goes far beyond its famous landmarks. One of the country's best-known celebrations is the Carnival of Venice, held each year before Lent. Famous for its elaborate masks, elegant costumes, and grand masquerade balls, the festival transforms Venice into a living work of art. Dating back to the Middle Ages, the carnival once allowed people of different social classes to celebrate together while hidden behind beautifully crafted masks. Today, it attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors from around the world. Another extraordinary event is the Battle of the Oranges in the northern town of Ivrea. During this unique festival, participants divide into teams and engage in a large-scale orange-throwing contest that symbolizes the town's historic fight against tyranny. Over several days, hundreds of tons of oranges are used in carefully organized competitions, making it one of Italy's most unusual cultural traditions. In the heart of Tuscany, the city of Siena hosts the legendary Palio di Siena, a thrilling horse race held twice every summer in the city's historic Piazza del Campo. Representing 17 traditional districts known as contrade, riders compete in a fast-paced race that lasts only about 90 seconds, yet months of preparation, parades, and neighborhood celebrations lead up to the event. Winning the Palio is considered a matter of immense local pride, often celebrated for generations. These festivals are more than colorful attractions for tourists. They preserve local identity, strengthen community bonds, and keep centuries-old traditions alive. Whether through elegant Venetian masks, the excitement of Ivrea's Orange Battle, or the fierce competition in Siena, Italy's festivals offer an unforgettable glimpse into the country's rich cultural heritage. Italian cuisine and culinary rules. Italian cuisine is celebrated around the world, but in Italy, food is more than a collection of recipes. It is a tradition shaped by regional history, fresh ingredients, and generations of family cooking. Every region has its own specialties, and many Italians believe that respecting these traditions is the secret to authentic flavor. Pizza is perhaps Italy's most famous culinary creation, but not all pizzas are the same. Naples, the birthplace of the classic Neapolitan pizza, is known for its soft, airy crust, simple tomato sauce, fresh mozzarella, basil, and olive oil. Across the country, different regions have developed their own styles, proving that there is no single Italian pizza, only local traditions perfected over time. Pasta follows a similar philosophy. Italians carefully pair different pasta shapes with specific sauces, because each shape is designed to hold certain textures. Long pasta, like spaghetti, is commonly served with lighter sauces, while tube-shaped pasta is often paired with richer, heartier recipes. One of the best-known customs is avoiding cheese on many seafood pasta dishes, allowing the natural flavors of the seafood to remain the focus. Wine is another essential part of Italian dining. Italy is among the world's largest wine-producing countries, with hundreds of native grape varieties and wine traditions dating back thousands of years. Rather than drinking wine quickly, Italians typically enjoy it alongside food, where it complements the meal instead of overpowering it. Moderation and appreciation of flavor are key parts of the experience. Italian dining also follows a relaxed rhythm. Meals are meant to be enjoyed slowly, often with family or friends gathered around the table for conversation. Bread is used to accompany the meal rather than served with butter, and espresso is traditionally enjoyed after lunch or dinner as the perfect ending to a satisfying meal. These unwritten customs are not strict rules, but reflections of Italy's deep respect for quality ingredients, regional heritage, and the joy of sharing food with others. In Italy, every meal is an opportunity to celebrate culture, tradition, and the simple pleasure of eating well. Rome, after dark. As the sun sets behind Rome's ancient monuments, the Eternal City takes on an entirely different character. Warm golden lights illuminate centuries-old buildings, lively conversations spill into the streets, and historic squares become gathering places where locals and visitors enjoy the city's relaxed evening atmosphere. Rather than slowing down after dark, Rome comes alive with a unique blend of history, culture, and modern entertainment. Many of Rome's most memorable dining experiences are found away from the main tourist routes. Family-run trattorias, tucked into narrow side streets, serve regional specialties that have been passed down for generations. These neighborhood restaurants are often known more through local recommendations than flashy signs, offering guests an authentic taste of Roman hospitality in a cozy setting. As evening continues, districts such as Trastevere, Monte, and Testaccio become some of the city's most vibrant social hubs. Their streets are lined with wine bars, cafes, live music venues, and restaurants where people gather to enjoy long conversations over dinner or an evening drink. The atmosphere is lively yet relaxed, reflecting the Italian tradition of savoring time with friends rather than rushing from one destination to another. Rome's famous piazzas also become open-air meeting places after sunset. Piazza Navona, Campo dei Fiori, and the Spanish Steps attract street musicians, painters, portrait artists, and performers who fill these historic spaces with music and creativity. Visitors often find themselves lingering far longer than planned, simply enjoying the unique atmosphere created by centuries of history and everyday city life. Even at night, Rome's landmarks remain breathtaking. The illuminated Colosseum, Trevi Fountain, and Pantheon offer a completely different experience from the busy daytime crowds, allowing visitors to appreciate the city's timeless beauty in a calmer setting. Rome after dark is not defined by loud nightlife alone. It is a city where history, art, cuisine, and community blend together, creating unforgettable evenings that capture the timeless charm of Italy's capital. Hidden medieval villages of Italy. While millions of travelers visit Rome, Venice, and Florence each year, some of Italy's greatest treasures are found far from the country's busiest tourist destinations. Scattered across rolling hills, mountain valleys, and dramatic coastlines are hundreds of beautifully preserved medieval villages known as borghi. Many of these historic communities have remained remarkably unchanged for centuries, offering visitors a glimpse into Italy's rich past and a slower, more authentic way of life. Walking through these villages feels like stepping into another era. Narrow stone streets, ancient churches, family-owned cafes, and centuries-old homes create an atmosphere where history is part of everyday life. Places such as Civita di Bagnoregio, Castelluccio di Norcia, and Montefiorale are celebrated not for modern attractions, but for their timeless beauty, local craftsmanship, and strong sense of community. These villages have also become symbols of Italy's growing slow tourism movement. Instead of rushing from one famous landmark to another, travelers are encouraged to spend more time exploring local traditions, tasting regional cuisine, supporting small businesses, and connecting with residents. This approach not only creates a richer travel experience, but also helps preserve historic communities that might otherwise struggle with declining populations. Among the most remarkable destinations is Civita di Bagnoregio, often nicknamed the Dying City, perched atop a fragile hill of volcanic rock in central Italy. The village has faced centuries of erosion that gradually wear away the surrounding cliffs. Today, it is connected to the outside world by a pedestrian bridge, and ongoing preservation efforts continue to protect its unique heritage. Despite its dramatic nickname, Civita has become one of Italy's most inspiring examples of historic conservation. Across Italy, there are more than 300 villages recognized by the association I Borghi Più Belli d'Italia, the most beautiful villages of Italy, each selected for its architectural heritage, cultural significance, and commitment to preservation. Together, these hidden gems remind visitors that some of Italy's most unforgettable experiences are found not in its largest cities, but in the quiet streets where history, tradition, and everyday life continue to exist side by side. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through Italy's breathtaking landscapes, timeless traditions, and fascinating culture. Which place surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Amazing Earth Discoveries. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our next adventure, exploring the world's most amazing destinations. See you in the next video.